Hi, welcome to Storytime with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading another story from our Disney Friendship Stories, A Treasury of Tales. Our story today comes from The Lion King, called A Lion's Best Friends. Mufasa, the Lion King, was the ruler of the Pride Lands. When his son Simba was born, the animals bowed in respect as the wise baboon Rafiki presented the cub. They knew that someday Simba would be their leader. It was all part of the circle of life. Until Simba was born, his uncle Scar had been next in line to be king. There was nothing that the greedy lion wanted more, so he devised an evil plan. "Your father has a surprise for you," Scar told his nephew one morning as he led him into a deep gorge. "Just stay on this rock and I'll go get him." Eager for his surprise, the cub obeyed. He didn't know that Scar had instructed some hyenas to scare a herd of wildebeests into a stampede straight toward him. Nor did the cub know that Scar had run off to warn Mufasa that his only son was in danger. It was a trap, and it worked. Just as Scar had hoped, Mufasa leaped into the gorge and raced toward Simba, who was dangling from a branch. By the time the Lion King carried Simba to the safety of a rocky ledge, he had become very tired. For a moment, the stampeding wildebeests almost carried Mufasa away, but he clung to the rocky gorge wall and slowly began to claw his way up the side. "Brother, help me!" Mufasa cried to Scar. Instead of helping, though, Scar dug his claws into his brother's paws. He smiled wickedly as Mufasa fell to his death. Unfortunately for Scar, Simba was still alive, but the evil lion knew just how to get rid of him. "If it weren't for you, your father would still be alive," he told the cub, who hadn't seen what Scar had done. "Run away and never return." And that is just what Simba did. Simba ran until the ground grew hard and cracked beneath his blistered paws and his small, sore legs collapsed from exhaustion. He fell asleep at once, but when he woke up, things were very different. The desert had turned into a lush jungle, and instead of being alone, he was with a warthog named Pumbaa and a meerkat named Timon. "We saved you," said the meerkat. Timon and Pumbaa could tell that something was bothering Simba, but the cub didn't want to talk about it, and that was fine with them. Their motto, after all, was Hakuna Matata, which meant no worries. "You got to put your past behind you," Timon told Simba. Timon and Pumbaa didn't care a bit what the cub thought he had done. They liked him and wanted him to stay in the jungle, so he did. Of course, Simba had to get used to a few things, such as having no zebras or antelopes or hippos to eat. Instead, Timon introduced him to a new kind of food, grubs. The cub also ate termites, ladybugs, and all the other insects that crawled around the jungle. "You'll learn to love them," Pumbaa told him. Simba didn't think he would ever, but he ate them anyway. What the lion cub did love were his new friends. With Timon and Pumbaa, every day brought a new games and fun-filled adventures. When they weren't playing, they were eating. When they weren't eating, they were playing. And when they weren't doing either, they just relaxed. As the years went by, the friends grew closer and closer, and Simba's sad past faded away. Almost. One day, while Timon and Pumbaa were out stalking beetles, a stranger, and you can see Simba, a stranger appeared in the jungle, a fierce lioness, alone and very hungry. "Ah!" yelled Pumbaa as he fled, but the warthog got stuck beneath an old tree root. "Ah!" screamed Timon as he tried to push Pumbaa to freedom before the lioness attacked them. Luckily, Simba heard his friend's cries. and raced to their defense. Now fully grown, he easily wrestled the lioness to the ground, but she quickly flipped him over and pinned him down. Only then did he realize whom he was fighting. Nala, he said. She was one of his old playmates. Nala was surprised to see him. Scar had told the whole pride that Simba was dead. She told her old friend that Scar had let the hyenas take over the Pride Lands. Everything's destroyed. There's no food or water. You're our only hope, she cried. When Timon, Pumbaa, and Nala woke up the next morning, Simba was gone. The king has returned, Rafiki informed them. At first, Timon and Pumbaa didn't understand, but Nala did. She told them about Scar and how he had taken over as king and ruined the once great Pride Lands. Simba must fight his uncle to take his place as king, she explained. She also told them that he might need a little help. If it's important to Simba, Timon said, we're with him to the end. Timon, Pumbaa, and Nala hurried to catch up with Simba. They followed him to the Pride Lands. Once there, Simba let out an earth-shaking roar and climbed Pride Rock to face his evil uncle. Step down, Scar, Simba commanded. But his uncle wasn't going to give up the kingdom so easily. Scar and the hyenas fought, and soon Simba was dangling from a cliff. This is just the way your father looked before he died, sneered Scar. Suddenly, Simba realized that Scar was the one responsible for Mufasa's death, not him. Filled with rage, he sprang onto the ledge with Timon, Pumbaa, and Nala beside him. He took on Scar and the hyenas. The friends fought bravely. Scar attacked Simba, but the younger lion quickly moved out of the way. Scar fell to his death. The hyenas soon retreated. The battle over, Simba immediately became king. Under Simba's wise and just rule, the Pride Lands soon returned to their former splendor. Simba went on to become as great a king as his father. He and Nala soon had a cub of their own. The circle of life continued, as it was always meant to. Simba lived happily ever after, along with two better and truer friends than any Lion King ever had. And that's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye until next time.